Sir, it will be very nice if you can explain because last time you mentioned about Kam, Krodh, Matsarya, Lobh. We would like to have more understanding on these and try to connect
Yes,
it to our lives.
yes, yes. So in the tradition, there is lot of mention about what are the basic defilements, you know, in this self, or where do we have problem at the level of self. So the basic thing that is there is a problem in the self is that we are not in a natural state, right? When we are in our natural state, as per our natural acceptance, when we have the feeling of relationship, harmony, and coexistence, then we are in a state of happiness, right? So the happiness is something which is our natural characteristic. But when we are not there, then we are unhappy. So we are unhappy because we are not in line with our natural acceptance, not in line with our swabhav. So we think that, you know, the happiness has to be obtained from outside. So it is not swabhav, it is a prabhav. You know, it is an effect from outside, an influence from outside. And if this is an effect from outside, then I must get the favorable conditions. So this expectation to get the favorable condition from outside so that I can get happiness out of it. This is what is called calm. Is that clear? So I'm
Ji,
not
sir.
happy in myself by virtue of being in my own swabhav, in my own natural condition, that is the feeling of relationship, harmony, and coexistence. And therefore, I'm not in a state of harmony and happiness. So I'm in a state of unhappiness. And I want to escape from it. I want to get rid of it. I want to become happy. And if I presume that I will get the happiness from outside, then this expectation of getting the favorable conditions from outside, this expectation is called calm. It's called calm, kamna. So all our kamna has to do with this. This is first thing. This is the root. This is the root of our unhappiness and happiness today. So we think that we will get the happiness from outside, and therefore we are expecting the favorable conditions from outside. So this expectation is called calm. Is that clear to everyone? Because that is at the root.
Ji, sir. Any co-explorer has any question? You can raise your hand regarding what sir just mentioned. Sir, so it is like we are at this expect when you are having this imagine a content of imagination and we have the expectation from outside. That means we are at that this particular state what you just mentioned, right?
Yes.
And we are at every moment, I think, as of now, until we are not at the pure observer, probably we are in this state only.
Either we are in the level of at the level of pure observer, or at least we are able to set our feelings in accordance with our natural acceptance, that is feeling of relationship, harmony, and coexistence. So unless we are able to do it within ourselves and be happy, then we'll get into this cycle of calm.
जी सर.
Now, once you are there with the calm, yes, Prashantji has something to say. Prashantji.
नमस्ते भैया.
जी जी भैया. जी गणेश जी, नमस्ते. नमस्ते भैया.
Namaste,
A
namaste.
small, जी sir जी, a small question is there. This excitement, under that both things are written, temporary happiness and temporary unhappiness. So temporary unhappiness, we are calling it as a depression, no? So why it is excitement there, please? Thank you. जी गणेश जी.
What is being said is that this happiness or unhappiness,
जी.
both of them is not your normal condition.
Yeah, yeah. जी.
You are in excited state.
जी.
So depression is also an excited state, or excitement is also an excited state.
जी.
They are not natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is why it is written excitement both places.
अच्छा, it
Temporary
both. Yeah, yeah. If it is
happiness,
temporary
you are
happiness, that
excited.
is also. जी जी, please.
Temporary unhappiness also you are excited.
Yeah, that is a depression actually. We are calling it depression. Unhappiness.
No, unhappiness is one of the expression will be depression.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ganesh. Namaste.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So once you have got into this calm, that is trying to get favorable conditions from outside, okay, you are in a state of calm, and if this favorable state is available, right, then you want more of it. Okay, that is love. Love means you want more and more of this calm to be fulfilled. And if it is fulfilled again and again, right, then you get attached to it. You think you cannot do without it. That is moha. Right? And if it is available for long time, okay, and you keep, indulging into this, after some time it becomes mad. Mad means it has taken over your consciousness. Right? You are obsessed with it. You are intoxicated with it. So mad that you take, mad is that, you are drunken. So that drunken state at the level of body by taking alcohol goes away for, after a while. But this mad, this obsession, this intoxication of this calm continues for a very long time. So it's written acute attachment for the sensation, for the feeling from other. Right? Imagination is mostly occupied by it. So all your mind is now totally occupied by it. So it always starts with calm. If it is fulfilled, it gives rise to love. If it is fulfilled for a longer time, it gives rise to more, right? And if it is continuing still further, it gives rise to mad. So starting from expectation to greed, to attachment, to obsession and intoxication. Can you see that? And most of us are going through this process. So if I have to take an example, you have a feeling that from tasty food, you will get happiness. So if you get good sensation from your food, you will get happiness. Right? This is your expectation. This is the kamna. This is the calm. So if you eat the food and you find that it is tasty, you feel happy temporarily, and that's it. But that does not stop there. Right? So you want more of this taste. So you want that food again and again. Right? So if you happen to like a taste, you want that food again and again. This is love. Right? Then you eat that food again and again. Right? And you get attached to it. So now you want only that kind of taste. Any other taste will not do. So this is moh. And then you go on eating. Right? So even if your stomach is full, you keep eating. That is moh. Right? So you started with calm, it became low, then it became moh. Right? And then you get intoxicated to it, you get obsessed with it, and you go on eating, even if it is starting to harm your body. If the doctor tells you can't eat anymore, right, you can't help it. I have given that example many times, that one of my friend's brother, he was too fond of eating chaat. Kanpur, this chaat is very famous. And at one time he had problem in his gallbladder, and he showed it to his doctor, and the doctor said that you can't afford to eat chaat anymore. But he couldn't help himself. So his friend will bring the chaat. He will not go to the chaat shop, but his friend will bring the chaat. He will eat the chaat, and he knows that his gallbladder cannot support it. So he will eat it and then vomit it, so that he at least gets the taste and it does not go inside his stomach. This is toxication. This is obsession. Right? And in this condition, many of you can see that this obese, this obesity is because of this obsession, because of this mud, that you are having all kind of health problems, but you can't stop eating. So you start with calm, then goes to low, then goes to moh, and finally it goes to mud. You are totally overtaken by it. All your imaginations, all your reasonings are taken over by it. So these are the four, defilements of the mind: the calm, the low, the moh, the mud. Now this is on the side of when it is fulfilled. Then there are other two, which is on the negative side. That is, if your expectation is not fulfilled, if your calm is not fulfilled, then you get angry. Right? You have krodh, anger. Okay. So if somebody tells you don't eat, too much of this kind of food, it is tasty, but it is harmful for the body. So you feel very angry on that person, right? Or if that is not available, okay, you are very angry. So when that favorable condition is not available, that is calm is not being supported, not fulfilled, then you get angry. So Krodh comes. And this Krodh is generally for either the condition because of it is not available, or on the person with whom you expected that he will make it available, but it is not available. And if that aggravates, that if you are getting the favorable condition for a long time or getting the unfavorable condition for a long time, then it leads to Matsarya. Matsarya means you become envy or jealous, or you even become harmful to others. Right? So this example that we keep taking, that you are having liking for a particular taste, and when your wife serves you the food and there is no salt or less salt, right? You throw the plate. You may even throw at her. This is Matsari. You are willing to harm the other. Okay. So anger is there within you, but that is under control. But when it gets aggravated, because your unfavorable condition is getting repeated by again and again because of somebody or some condition, then you are even willing to harm that condition, that person. That is Matsarya. Now, if you look at your behavior, most of the time your behavior you can place in one of these 6 conditions. Calm is there, or aggravated love and moh and mad is there, or the Krodh and Matsarya. Can you see this? That most of your behavior today would fall under this category.
जी sir.
Yes. Isn't it?
Yes, sir. We have this expectation that happiness is having the physical facility, and what you just mentioned, I think I'm able to see like how we've been living our life now with so much of uh, you know not having the understanding and creating problem for ourselves.
Yes. Now, if you look at the root of all these 6 type of defilements, okay, the root is the ego, the ahankar. And what is this ahankar? The ahankar is when I am not able to see that I am in relationship, I am in harmony, I am in coexistence, then I feel that I am separate from others, I am isolated from others. And this feeling of being isolated from others is what is ahankar. And when I feel that I am isolated from others, right, I try to prove that I am special. Right? I am, ahead of others. So when I'm not able to see this relationship, harmony and coexistence, and I'm not able to see that I'm in a state of harmony and happiness, then I'm in, with this feeling of ahankar. And this ahankar leads to all these 6 defilements. So what is the solution? The solution is to be able to see that we are in relationship, in harmony, in coexistence. And once we see this, that we are in a relationship, harmony and coexistence, once we have the feeling of relationship, harmony and coexistence, which is our natural acceptance, which is our swabhav, then we will be in a state of harmony and happiness within. And if we are already in a state of harmony and happiness within by virtue of being in our swabhav, then I don't have to look for prabhav, favorable prabhav from others. So I am free from this calm, right? Free from this expectation of getting happiness from others, from outside. And that means that the calm is not there, and therefore the remaining five are also not there. So ahankar goes, with ahankar, calm goes, and every other five also goes away. Yes. Yeah, Rishiraj ji. बताइए. ऋषिराज जी, आप अपना प्रश्न रख सकते हैं. संजय लेम्बे. यस.
भैया प्रणाम प्रणाम गुरु जी.
प्रणाम प्रणाम.
हेलो. हाँ संजय
जी
जी बताइए.
गणेश जी नमस्कार सर. इज लेम्बे sir is there. Sanjay
Yes.
Lembe. Yeah. I'm talking about this excitement in the suppose there is a cricket match or whatever the sports activities are there, and there is so much excitements are there, and during the winning and all this. So this excitement is if you win it, it is for the forever. So and you'll get it happiness. So how you this type of happiness we call it as during the sports activity or during the war activity or during such activities are there.
Yeah, so if you have won the trophy,
Yeah.
the trophy is there, but are you happy all the time because of that?
For the that World Cup like that, it's for the more than 5 years or forever. We may get happiness
is
because
okay.
of that World Cup
When
and
you
all
get
this.
see, when you come first in the class, right?
Yeah.
You feel very happy at that moment, right?
Yeah.
That happiness continues forever, or next moment you get busy with something else?
No, that is only for few period.
Yes, that is what we are saying. That it is very temporary in nature. Okay. I mean, like we keep taking this example. You wanted to get a, air conditioned room. Okay. So you had an air conditioned room. You had the air condition. Everything is working at 21 degrees centigrade. But when you are sitting in that room, okay, and somebody comes, your friend comes, or somebody comes with whom you have a feeling of opposition, what will happen? Your happiness will continue or you will become unhappy?
No, it's not continue.
Yeah. So with that sensation, this happiness is not continuing. Even winning that trophy, that moment you feel very excited, okay, happy, but next moment something else keeps you busy. And another interesting thing is that even when you are getting the trophy, are you feeling normal or you are excited?
I think that time also we feel excited.
Yes. So you are excited, you are not normal.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is the problem. Yeah. So this is called tap dukh. Tap dukh means when you are in indulging in that, okay, you are excited. You are not in a normal state, not in a swabhavik state, not natural.
No,
So
I'm talking about some sports activity. When there is a sports activity.
even
Yeah.
sports, that's what I'm saying. You got the trophy. That moment you feel very excited. Next moment you forget about it. You start thinking of 100 other things,
Okay.
isn't it?
Okay. Thank you.
These people like Sachin Tendulkar, right? They
Yeah.
have won so many test match. Go and meet them and find out whether they are happy in continuity or not.
Hmm. Again, they want to win another trophy. Again, they want to make another records, and they are continuing there. They are not
Yes.
satisfying.
So one is that when you are indulging into it, you are excited.
Yeah.
Second is it will not last for a long time, that you know. So you are worried about that time, that how long will it last. And third is the habit. It becomes a habit for sanskar for you. So you want more and more of it. So this is what is said about this calm. Tap dukh, parinam dukh, sanskar dukh. So it leads to unhappiness by these three ways. But all these you can see for yourself. I mean, you don't have to go to past, what is written in the past. Even now we are all indulging into this kind of thing, into that expectation, leading to greed, leading to attachment, leading to obsession, intoxication. Similarly, if it is not fulfilled, leading to anger and leading to harming the others. All this we are doing, in fact, now you see the one nation is trying to destroy the other nation. Leave alone the individuals. That is Matsarya.
Yes. And if you look at for the people like Australian or this team, they are winning so many times, and they suppose they lose the match, they're angry, and if there is a team like South Africa, once they win it, so they lose it, but they never angry that. So this means that there is a habit of winning.
Yes,
It may
sanskar.
causes a problem. Is it right?
There is a sanskar now, and they are troubled
Yeah,
by
yeah.
it.
Correct.
So,
Okay, thank you, sir. Right, sir.
so Christ is saying at one place, those who are down fears no fall. That if you are already down, then there is no fear of the fall. So it is better to be on the ground. Because these people get intoxicated with the idea of coming first. Okay. Yes. Rishiraji, you have something to discuss?
Sir. Pranam Guruji.
Pranam.
Guruji, here it is said that root cause of living on the basis of expectation is called ego. And we find that we always have a certain level of attachment, at least minimum level of attachment to our body. It is clearly seen by taking our breath. It is always is observing, and can it be expected as a calm? How can we free from such activities? It means I can never be free from the calm. Or I am taking the calm as a in a some other sense.
Yeah, I'll explain that. So body is a good instrument for me, right? I am using this instrument. Therefore, I have a responsibility for this instrument. Okay.
Ji.
And because I have this sense of responsibility for this instrument, I also take care of it.
Ji, sir.
And I know that one of the important activity, okay, which goes by my consent, is the activity of breathing. So for the body to be healthy, the breathing has to take place. Right?
Ji.
So with that clarity and that feeling of relationship for the body, I am asking the body to breathe. Okay.
Ji, sir.
So there is no problem in that. But if I start thinking that I will get happiness from the body through sensation, then that becomes a problem. Is that clear?
Ji, sir. Ji.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So that is the problem. So the body is an important instrument and I must take care of it. So I take care of it. But then my happiness is not dependent on the body. If I start thinking that my happiness is dependent on my body, then I am in trouble. And that is the core trouble, in fact.
It is the very basic trouble.
Yes. Yes.
Ji, sir. Thanks.
So I am the self, and my happiness depends upon whether I am in a state of harmony within or not. And that depends upon whether I am in my natural condition or unnatural condition. So if I am in my natural condition, and that natural condition means I am in a state of relationship, harmony and coexistence, then I will always be in a state of harmony and happiness. At least my feeling should be that of relationship, harmony and coexistence.
It means if we want to free from the karma, we must always be on the level of Atma. Atma means at the level of harmony of the self. And whenever I uh, take the help of our body, then only I have to do the work with the body without expecting anything. Is it?
Without expecting the happiness from it.
Happiness from it. Thanks, Guruji.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So I have to be either at the level of pure observer, or at least my feeling must be on the line of relationship, harmony and coexistence under the guidance of this pure observer. That will be the basis of my happiness. Then I will not have to seek happiness from outside through calm. Yes.
Thanks. Sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. So now we can move on to these questions, right? The first questions.
Ji, sir. So the first question is there a major difference between manyata and sanskar?
Yeah. Just for a minute. Huh?
Ji, sir.
Yeah. I'm audible now?
Ji, sir.
Yeah. So if we go to the next slide, This is some detail written about what is manyata, what is manna, what is janna, what is sanskar, and what is karma. So manyata normally what we call as preconditioning, that is manyata. And this preconditioning is assuming without knowing. That means my perception about the reality, okay, which is assumed by me but not yet verified. Right? So that is called preconditioning or manyata. When I say manna, this is open. This manna could be based on knowing or maybe without knowing. Then knowing is seeing the reality as it is in its completeness. Right? Those details we have seen. Now sanskar includes both assuming without knowing, that is your preconditioning, plus assuming with knowing. So both of them put together is called sanskar. And many times this sanskar is related to karma. This karma is an expression of the sanskar in terms of behavior and work. So that is karma. So a sanskar may lead to karma and a karma leads to a sanskar. That is how they are interlinked. Right? They are related to each other. So sanskar means assuming without knowing plus assuming with knowing. So all this assuming is called sanskar, whether it is with knowing or without knowing. Normally when you say manyata, it goes for assuming with, without being verified. So whatever is my acceptance, whatever is my assuming, that is sanskar, whether it is with knowing or without knowing. But manyata normally stands for assuming which is not yet verified, whether it is true or not true. So you can say that it is assuming without knowing. Assuming is both, assuming without knowing or with knowing. And that is what is sanskar, that is your acceptance. So whatever you have assumed to be true is your sanskar. If you want me to give examples, I can give you an example. Like you say, don't believe on anybody. Don't trust anybody. Right? So this is what your parents have said or your friends have said and you have accepted it, right? Without verifying for yourself. So this is your preconditioning. Now, when you ask yourself what is naturally acceptable to you, the feeling of trust or mistrust, then you realize that this feeling of trust is what is naturally acceptable to you and not the feeling of mistrust. So on the basis of this verification, you have the feeling of trust. On the basis of your past preconditioning, okay, you have the assumption that don't trust anybody. Now, if you look at yourself at this moment of time, you will have both. you will have this sanskar that don't trust anybody. You will also have the sanskar that only the feeling of trust leads to harmony and happiness. Therefore, I must have feeling of trust. So you will have mixed sanskar. Okay. You will have mixed sanskar. Then, if you try to verify this for yourself, that this preconditioning which has been told by the parents or by the friends or by somebody that don't trust anybody, right? That was because in their interaction with the world outside, they found that there were people who did not have the competence to fulfill relationship, right? They did not have the competence to respond to their good feeling, and for some reason they reacted. Okay. So they are saying that don't trust anybody. But as far as my feeling, which is natural to me is concerned, it is the feeling of trust which is naturally acceptable. And that is what leads to me and leads me to in a state of harmony and happiness. So I can at one point of time decide that I will have the feeling of trust and not the feeling of mistrust. But when it comes to fulfill my relationship with the other, okay, I will certainly evaluate my competence and the competence of the other. So that is a separate issue. But as far as the feeling is concerned, I will always have the feeling of trust. This is through verification. So if that happens, then I will only have the feeling of trust and that sanskar and not otherwise. Till then, I have the mixed sanskar. Till then, I have the mixed sanskar. In fact, if you look at this next slide, this is the interaction that is taking place, So your sanskar is guiding your feeling. The feeling is guiding your thought. The thought is guiding your behavior and work. That is your expression. And when you are behaving with somebody, there is some response or reaction from the other. Right? You remember this exercise 2, step 5. That reaction or the response, it comes to me. So I start with the testing that, then I have the thought, then I have the feeling in myself. Right? And on the basis of this, I update my sanskar. And this updation may be positive or negative. So if there was a response from the other, I reinforce my sanskar. Okay. If there is a reaction from the other side, then I might update my sanskar thinking that, I behaved properly with the other person and he's not behaving properly. Therefore, I must not behave properly. I should not trust others. So this below this, example is given that if you have a sanskar where you are unsure whether to be related to the other or not be related to the other, right? So unsure of relationship, how to, and how, so you may start with the feeling of relationship, then with the thought of how to relate, then you will have some complementary behavior from your side. And suppose there is a reaction from the other. So you dislike that reaction in the, and then on the basis of that, okay, you think that you should not behave properly with others. So that strengthens your sanskar of opposition or weakens your sanskar of relationship. So does this happen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is how we go on, starting with good expectation, then ending up with a bad experience, and then making a bad sanskar, and then starting with a bad expectation, and then it goes on. And interestingly, all this is happening within, isn't it? This is happening
Yes.
within or outside?
Within, sir.
Within. And we are not mostly aware of it. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, sir, if this sanskar is deep rooted, then it is going to take time for me to, purify it.
Yeah, there are many questions regarding that. If your sanskar is multi-layered, right, and each sanskar is deep rooted, then it will take time. Because when you are evaluating your sanskar from your pure observer, then you might, evaluate some sanskar at some level and some of the roots of that sanskar. And when you do that, you may evaluate those roots and get rid of them. But then you find that the sanskar is still there because it has multi roots. And then you work for it and you are able to get rid of that, root at that level. Then you feel very relieved. But after some time, you may find that that sanskar is reappearing. That is reappearing because it may be now at the next level, a deeper level. So like that, there are layers and layers, and at each layer, there are many roots. So you have to take care of all of them, right? So many times you feel that, okay, you got rid of it, okay. Now it will not be there, okay. But then you realize that it has come back again. So it is likely to come back because whole lot of this accumulation is there, over a long period of your time, of this birth and then association with many other births. So all that you will be able to observe when you are, working on yourself every moment.
Ji, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So can we move on to the next question?
Yes, sir. We can go to the next question. The next question is I am the coexistence of self and body. I am the seer, doer, enjoyer. The other's
Yes.
understanding and reaction is not affecting me because I observe my feelings at all times and I am aware of my behavior continuously. People around
Yeah.
me who has seen my reactions during the same situation earlier not able to accept my response. The change in me
Yes.
is naturally acceptable to me. But why the other cannot accept the change in me? Why is that they always expect me to react and not to respond? I am happy with my behavior. Is it human nature not to see the or accept the change in the other?
The human nature is to accept the change for good. So if there is a change for good in you, people will be willing to accept it. My feeling is that the problem is there because they are not looking at this change, okay, as a positive change. What they feel is that you are becoming egoist. You are not bothering for them. You are not caring for them. Right? You are trying to prove yourself to be special. That seems to be the problem. So not only that behavior, that feeling has to be, the change in the feeling has to take place in you, but you have to, it has to show in your behavior, right? And this showing in your behavior would be in terms of, you feel more, you are more accessible to them, They feel that you have become more, your behavior has become more smooth than before. You are more accessible than before. Somewhere they are feeling that you are not accessible. Somewhere they are feeling that, you are becoming, isolated. You are trying to show that you are special. That's my, guess. What do you feel, Vijay Shri?
Didi, you can unmute yourself and yes.
Baya, actually, that change, whatever I have in me, like the other who has seen, they are not ready to accept it. What you said is right. They think that I'm egoistic now, and also I don't care for the other. But actually, that is not true in me.
Yeah.
So, how can the other understand that this is her natural acceptance? Like, this is my natural acceptance. She has changed from within.
Yeah. So, two things I will say, Number one is that if you are sure that your feelings are right and is that of relationship, and therefore you are happy within, okay, then you have to go ahead with it. Number one. Number two, you have to relate to the other meaningfully. So maybe you have to spend little more time with them than you are doing now, because somehow they are feeling neglected. Somehow they are feeling neglected. Otherwise, if I relate to the other, they feel very happy. I mean, my experience has been that when this change started taking place in me, my family members, they may not be very kind of convinced of what I am doing, okay, overall, but now they feel that I am more reliable, and they have, if they have to take any decision about any important issue, they would always try to consult me, seek for my opinion. So my feeling is that if I am improving within and if I am related to the other, they feel more comfortable with it. They feel more confident of you. Somewhere that relatedness is missing. But two parts. I said first part, if you are sure that your feeling is that of relationship, harmony and coexistence, and that you are in a state of harmony and happiness, then you have to certainly go with it. Second part is the expression. So that expression has to be such that it makes the other comfortable. That is my responsibility, because if I have the right understanding, I have the responsibility to communicate it properly. So if I have the right understanding and the right feeling, the responsibility goes with me and not with the other. The other is anyway not having the right understanding, right feeling, therefore he is in the trouble. So he can always doubt my intention, he can always react. But the responsibility goes with me. Yeah.
Ji Bhaiya, got it. Thank you, Bhaiya.
Yeah, so you have to do some experiment with these people, Go meet them, talk to them, ask them, what they think is wrong with me. Then they will express. They're not disliking the change in you. They may be disliking some lack in your, relatedness to them. Yeah. So now we can take the last question from Poonam Shuklaji.
How can I deal with a mental unstable patient?
Yeah, that's very common thing. We are all quite mentally unstable people. So the question just above was a similar question, isn't it?
Ji, sir.
So, unless we have understood the relationship, harmony, and coexistence, unless we have this feeling of relationship, harmony, and coexistence every moment, we are not mentally stable. Right? That is, we are mentally unstable. Now, this instability may be less or may be more. Okay. So, if I have this clarity about what is really being mentally stable and what is being unstable, then probably we will be able to deal with people, people with different degree of instability. So you will find that most of the people around you are mentally unstable, but they are of different degree. So I presume that your question is that if there are people with mental instability of very high degree, right, then how can I deal with them? Right? That probably is your question. Isn't it, Poonamji? Are you
Uh,
there?
Sir, Poonamji is not there.
So probably this is the question. So my response would be that number one, I must understand what is the stable mental condition. Right? That is what we have been discussing all the time. Having the right understanding and the right feeling. So if we have the right understanding and the right feeling and therefore the right thought, then we are mentally stable. And if we are mentally stable, then we are in a state of harmony and happiness within. And our behavior with the other is also mutually fulfilling. So that is what is going to happen. If it is not there, then I have to think in terms of how to ensure that. Then I have to think in terms of how to ensure this in myself and in the other. So this other person is very much like me. Okay. He is same and similar as me. So I have to do for him what I am doing for myself. So when I start working for my own improvement, I can understand what I have to do for the improvement in the other person. So with this background, I will look into the specific case, right, of that individual as to what is his condition, what are his sanskar, what are his feelings, right, what are his thoughts, right, where he is getting stuck, okay, how I can help him to look into his own thought, in his own feeling, his own sanskar, how I can help him to evaluate his feelings, right, his sanskar, and to improve upon it. And in fact, if you look at the whole exercise of UHV, that is what we are trying to do, isn't it? The whole exercise of UHV is essentially trying to improve upon the mental condition of the people, of the teachers, and then the students. So then we don't call them patients, okay, but definitely mentally unstable, isn't it?
Ji, sir.
So we all know about ourselves by now. That we have mental instability of different, order. And through this UHV, we are able to improve that, isn't it? Many of the people, in attending the morning session, they have expressed this. I remember one of the participants was saying that, in the beginning when my husband used to call, right, just listening to that voice, my blood used to boil. So that was the condition. And now both the wife and the husband are listening to the morning session together. So all this has been happening. And now there is so much of improvement. So that can happen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think time is up and therefore we can stop now. It's 5:55. Yeah, 4:05. So shall we stop then, Soumya-ji here? There are many questions left, so we'll continue with them.
Ji, sir.
Yeah.
Ji, sir.
Yeah, so we can call it a day.